Next, we have a presentation by the Fire Chief, Chris Goodwin, on the status of RFP 23-012, a request for proposal for a qualified vendor to operate, maintain, and administer an ambulance transport service in the City of Edmond, and discussion on this of the Selection Committee's recommendation to proceed with negotiations with vendor.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thanks for having me tonight. You'll remember I came to you back in April, I believe it was, asking for permission to proceed with an RFP for transport services, and tonight I just wanted to update you on where we are in that process. Just a few reminders. We did develop the RFP. We did take it out, and we received proposal. We closed that on June 15th. But some highlights of the request for proposal was this would be an enforceable contract with defined fines and liquidated damages for non-compliance. 1-year contract with option to renew annually for up to 5 years. As you're aware, our procedures won't allow us to go out to contract for more than 1 year, but that would be our intent to continue to renew. Ambulance is dedicated to the City of Edmond. Currently, we don't have ambulances dedicated to our city. They're coming from different locations across the metropolitan area. So we wanted ambulances in our city 24/7, 365. Standby coverage for special events in our city. Continue the membership program that we have through our utilities for the residents. No automatic exclusions for late calls. Co-branded ambulances that are here customized to the City of Edmond, and contingency allowances should we ever be faced with another pandemic such as COVID and experience what we did. We want some contingency in there to allow us different options to be able to work with that transport agency to get people to the hospital in a timely manner. We did go out, and that closed on June 15th. We received 3 proposals. One was from American Medical Response Ambulance Service, AMR. The other was from Emergency Medical Services Authority, who we're currently with, and the other was from Buford Medical Services Incorporated. We did put a committee together of my staff and also citizens and professionals within the city. And I'm going to introduce you to that committee right now. It was a 7-member committee. Myself, I was on that. I'll just start right here. This is our Chief of EMS, Brian Davis. Our Deputy Chief of Operations, Chad Weaver. We have a citizen and a retired banker, Mike Sanders. And I'll just say everyone that was on the committee brought certain skills and knowledge to the committee. That was very helpful as we worked through this. Deputy Chief of Administration, Chris Denton. I'm not sure if Leslie is here. Leslie Buford, who is the Vice President of Operations at OU Medical Center, and also the Chairwoman of the Chamber of Commerce, and then Councilwoman Stacie Peterson. And that was the 7-member committee that went through and reviewed all of these proposals. The committee did meet weekly for 4 weeks. In addition, a whole lot of work went on outside the committee. They were presented all of those RFPs. They all reviewed them, met, and then we met together and discussed them. The committee did identify 2 finalists out of that group of 3, and then we brought those companies in to meet with the committee members and hear their proposals, talk about their proposals, and allow the committee to ask any questions of that group, of those groups. Committee has since arrived unanimously at a recommendation to move forward with negotiating a contract for services with the American Medical Response Incorporated. I've got some representatives from AMR I'll introduce here in just a minute, but a few reasons for that recommendation from the committee. One was the annual subsidy cost of the City of Edmond was the lowest of the 3 that we received. Another was the transport fees to the citizens were the lowest of the 2 finalists. The membership subscription benefits were the best of the 2 finalists. The size and the experience and the resources of American Medical Response is impressive, should allow for a good transition for our city. And then the compatibility of a lot of the software, the dispatching, the CAD to CAD, the equipment, the medical equipment that they use, as well as what the Edmond Fire Department uses, is going to allow for a good transition also. So those are some of the highlights for why the committee came to this recommendation. I did want to briefly mention who we have here with us tonight from AMR. We've got Tina Wells, the Director of Governmental Affairs, right here with us. We've got Steve Drawley next to her, the Regional President over Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and Colorado. And we've got Steve Bates, the Regional Director of Oklahoma. They're all here tonight should you have any questions. But I did want to bring Tina up just to say a few words.
Thank you, Chief. Mayor Davis, councilors, Mr. Rigby, we are so honored to be chosen to be able to work with your community to partner together. I had the advantage, the true honor of spending about 14 years working in and around the EMS system in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Edmond previously. And so I got to see a lot of what worked. One of the top things I have to say is you've got a fire department here that is very interested in engaging and in partnering, very advanced in the skills that they provide. But I've seen some of the things that haven't worked as well. And I think one of those things that we do differently is partnering to build a custom solution for your community. That goes with the cosmetic things such as ambulances that have your name on them, because they're going to be ambulances serving your community and your citizens, but also things that we've been talking about, and Councilor Peterson, you heard about protocols, working together on developing those, working together on who's serving your community here, such as our leadership, and just figuring those things out together. So even though this recommendation is for a 1-year contract with up to 5 years in renewals, we intend to be a long-term partner to help you build the system that you want and deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Council, any questions for AMR? Thank you.
I just want to say a little bit more about the committee itself, too. This truly, you could see the passion of every member of the committee for the City of Edmond and for the problems that we've experienced with ambulance transport and just looking for a solution. So my hat's off to the committee with the diligence that they put into this work. Other than that, a few timelines. If you all are fine with us moving forward, we will immediately begin working on negotiating a contract. We'll be working with the City Attorney's Office, with our IT department, with our communications department. We'll be looking at specifics of the contract and move forward. And timeline-wise, we would be looking to do this as soon as we possibly can to where we roll out a seamless transition. So we hopefully would be with 30 to 60 days would be our goal to shoot towards coming back to you with a contract and then moving into that transition no later than the end of this year, if not sooner. That would be our goal. So any questions of me, the committee, or...
Mayor, I would like to say, I just want to give kudos out to the fire department. All of us have looked over RFPs in our tenure, and I'm telling you what, I have never gone through an RFP, gone through the information that was so organized and so put together so well for us to go through. It had all the information that we could possibly need and more, but it was in an organized manner. You set up the interviews. It was a seamless process, and it doesn't always go that way. So I want to give kudos out to all of the extra time put into this project before we even sat down at the table and started looking at this information. It was quite impressive. And for something that's this important to every single person in this city is their safety, their health and well-being. It's extremely important, and you took it very seriously. And for that, I just want to say kudos to you, and every citizen of this city should have their thanks put out to you. And I'm so excited about the partnership that we're getting ready to enter. I am thrilled at the experience that's coming on board, the fact that we're finally having dedicated ambulance in our city every day every night. We haven't had that. This is amazing. This is amazing for our citizens. And the seamless transition that's going to go through with this, with all the memberships. And of course, we want to set you up for success and not failure. So we want you on as soon as possible. However, we want to set you up to succeed. So I am so thrilled at this whole process and excited to have you on board.
Thank you. Well, one thing is about any transition is, as we've said many times up here, I'll ask the question, how do we plan on over-communicating to the community and even the surrounding community that this is a change, this is a transition, this is going to be something new. How are we going to over-communicate to the community that we've taken their best interests at heart and there'll be a different service in the near future providing for them?
Yeah, we will definitely be doing that. We'll be working with AMR. We'll be getting the word out even about the subscriptions as we move forward, trying to sign up additional people on the subscriptions. Working with Bill Begley in our marketing, we're gonna get the word out as often and as our social media. We'll definitely get the word out to our citizens and those around us. Yes.
Okay.
And I love how they were also super interested, Mayor, into having public relations, going to our outings, our things that happen in the city, vibes, Heard on Heard, having a presence at the farmers market, different things where people in the public can see them and meet them and get to know them. I love the relationship that y'all are going to have with the fire department. It just seems like a win-win for everybody in the city of Edmond.
Just wanted to make one brief comment. So the technical jargon on the agenda is like all agenda items. It's technical in nature. But friends and neighbors, this is huge. When we think about what does a city do as far as quality of life and supporting one another, there isn't a time that we need the best support and services than when we call 911 for somebody that we love and care for. And we're praying that service gets there as quickly as possible. And when I was thinking as a citizen to get more involved, that's actually one of the first times I ever met my neighbor who made me aware of the current situation. And I went to our chief, and that was probably the first or second question I asked him. And they, just like the councilwoman said, we're prepared, we're looking at it. And I am just really excited. There's a lot that we can always poke holes at or do, but I hope we take a sense of pride as a community that we decided that this year we wanted to have our own dedicated, focused service with excellence, and we're on a path to do so. And it's a service I hope I never have to use, but with confidence, I look forward to being able to have that available to our citizens. So I just want to thank Stacie, who served in doing that, everyone who did that with your team. And it's because of our dedicated funding for fire and other things that allow us to have the staff and the support, and that investment is paying off, and I appreciate your leadership, and thank you for this big transition, which is significant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Next order is consideration of nomination, appointment, and reappointments. The mayor nomination appointments. Appointment of Barry K. Moore to the Edmond Mobility Commission. Term expires May 2027. Reappointment of